Good evening. Today is May 7th, 2024. This is the Hannah City Village Council meeting. If everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May be seated. No guests this evening. Everybody should have a copy of our April 16th meeting in front of them. I'm just looking through this.
Make a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes as submitted.
Second.
Motion by Pearson, second by Sidak. Any further discussion? Corrections, changes? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Treasurer's report.
Let's see. There was $6,700 worth of interest in the Illinois Funds bank account this month. So everybody.
That's only a partial month.
It is a partial month. I don't think there's anything out of the ordinary on here. Any questions for me?
Do we keep a spreadsheet on that?
On what?
On what we're accruing?
We can get a report.
I can run a report.
Okay.
It shows us like month, year to date, investment to date.
How long have we been doing that? Since November?
I'll be more than a year.
Okay.
I don't remember when we started.
Next meeting we could do a yearly report just to see where we're at.
Okay, yeah,
Bring it to the board.
absolutely.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report and pay all outstanding debts.
I have a motion by Pearson,
Second.
second by Weaver. I'll make note that Trustee Chiravali has arrived. He's present. We already had a quorum. You want to take a second and look at the treasurer's report?
I already read it.
Okay. So, got a motion by Pearson, second by Weaver. No further discussion. We'll roll call that. Weaver,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Chiravali,
Yes.
Sidak,
Yes.
motion carried. Anything from Brandon?
I just sent him a note today asking for an update on the water tower. I didn't hear back, so I'll follow up with him this week. Hopefully, we'll have something for the next meeting.
Bill, you're up, sir.
Really nothing to report other than I heard from Abby and she's survived her medical procedure. So we're glad to hear that.
Yeah, we'll send her our best wishes and hopefully she recovers quickly.
I will. Thank you. That'll mean a lot to her.
I still got to get up there when she's in the office on Friday and take her to lunch.
Yeah. She would love that. You'd take me too if you want.
If you're there, though.
That's true. That's true.
Thank you, Bill.
Brian, administrative report?
Yeah, just some things I just wanted to touch base on. You've got a copy in your deck. We did finish the 23-24 year-end financials. We're still working on a couple of things, or I'm working on a couple of things, but it was a good month. We ended the year again strong. So we'll share those at the next meeting. Also, at the next meeting, we'll have the appropriations ordinance to vote on. So those two things will be at the next meeting. I also have a meeting with Tony, and I don't know if did we invite you, Ryan, or not?
I don't think so.
Well, you're welcome to come if you want to, but the Pleasant Valley Water has a board meeting on the 14th of May at 6 p.m. And I know Jim and I are going for sure, and maybe Tony. Anybody's welcome to go, but we're just going to go and talk about the feasibility of doing a study to determine whether or not that makes sense. But, getting water for them makes sense or doesn't make sense. Public Works property update. We went ahead and did a boundary survey, and we've got the quote for that, or the invoice for that underneath buildings and grounds. But if they were going to want to buy that property where the Public Works building is, we thought we needed to have that done just in case we needed to know where the boundaries were and stuff. So we went ahead and did that. Lagoon Solar, I know they're working on the transformer and what the size of the transformer needs to be and how much that's going to cost. And I know that Hawksworth had built that into the project cost, but I think they're just finalizing technical details. And so once that's done, I heard they made progress this week. Once that's done, we'll be able to move forward with construction. So I'm hopeful that that's going to happen soon. Code enforcement, we've started working on a few houses and sending out letters and doing some fines and things like that. We're working on defining the process. We actually have a meeting Thursday of this week to work on that. And then we're also going to work with Abby and team to update the code changes that need to be done. So that work's being done. I didn't get anything new on the water tower update. If you remember back a couple meetings ago, I gave you some quotes on street lighting. Well, we thought another approach might be just to talk to Ameren and see if the poles that are already there, could we add existing lights to those poles? We met with that guy. He's the same guy that's working on the transformer issue out at the lagoon. And we got okay from IDOT as long as we're paying for the energy costs to run them. The basic rules are if there's already electricity to the pole, then it doesn't cost us anything. They put up the bracket and the light, and all we have to do is take on the monthly payment. If there's not electricity to the pole, then there would be some upfront cost to get electricity to the pole. So he's doing a study. I think there's 29 poles from Murphy to Pekin. If I remember right, 11 of them have lights on them now. And he was going to go look at, sometimes he said some of them may have too much other stuff on it, and so we might not be able to put a light on it. But he was going to do an analysis, and we told him just to give us a cost of if we did every pole that we could do, what would be the upfront costs if they needed electricity, and what would be the estimated ongoing cost. So once that information comes in, we'll bring that to you guys to look at. That will be a much less expensive way to get more light on 116.
Also in conjunction with that, because I know, don't we have electricity run for the lights on those? Some of those right now, right?
Christmas lights?
Yeah,
We do.
okay. And I didn't know if we could, while we're doing that, just have it all put into one thing. So
Yeah, apparently there's some other issues that Ameren's starting to take exception with Christmas lights in some municipalities, and so I'm not sure. That's not going to be popular, obviously, if they come in. But I know there's been a couple communities where they've asked them not to do that anymore. So, but are you suggesting we put in more Christmas lights, or
no, still keep the number that we currently have. But I mean, we've already got electricity at that pole, so we're putting a light there.
Sure.
So what I'm saying is,
the energy would be there anyway.
Right, exactly.
Dollar General sidewalk project. Remember we talked about what it would cost to do that the rest of the way down. Farnsworth has been working with IDOT on that project as well, and they've come back and asked Farnsworth to sketch what it's going to look like and where it's going to be and everything. Farnsworth is in the process of doing that, and then my understanding is that we're going to have a teleconference to talk about it and understand what that looks like. And then the gas station, the liquor gaming license, we got confirmation that that it would be contingent upon him putting in a gas station. He's agreed to that. We wrote it on the permit, and the permit's signed and everything. He's paid. So I assume he's going to come pick that up sometime this week.
I told him it would be ready Wednesday.
Oh, that's right. We did tell him Wednesday. Any questions on any of that?
A few residents about that potential, and everybody seems to like the idea.
Nice.
Gas station.
Anything else, Ryan?
Nope.
Thank you, sir. See, I didn't skip you though.
You didn't. Well done.
I didn't even sigh or anything. Committee reports, Mr. Chervali.
Looks like we got our village officials attendance sheet Denise just handed me from November 23rd to April of 2024. Check it out, make sure everything's correct. I'm sure it is. She's on top of things.
Are we only paying the board, or is this everybody?
This is everybody. This is
It's the board.
it's yeah.
It's
just
not,
Not
you're
that-
not planning and zoning. Is that what you're speaking?
Yeah, it's not planning and zoning.
No.
So do we do that at a different
But
time?
we pay, if Tony and I go to those, we get paid.
Do you do
I don't
pay
get paid
planning
for
and zoning as we go?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Zoning is per meeting.
Okay, Danny's joining.
Oh.
Who's that?
Does anybody have any questions regarding their village attendance sheet? Eric, Caleb, you guys have a problem with that?
Do I guess?
I think they said they were donating theirs to the other members. Is what I
Well, let's vote on that.
Yeah, mine's by ordinance, so I'm only allowed by ordinance.
I make a motion that we accept the village officials' attendance sheet for board pay.
Second.
I have a motion by
Cider.
Sidak, second by Chervali. Any discussion, comments? And we'll roll call it. Pearson,
Yes.
Chervali,
Yes.
Sidak,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
motion carried.
And the audit starts next week, and I assume these two are right on top of that. Like
You're
always.
already. What are you prepping now?
I pulled a bunch of reports out of Locust and I've got them in a folder. I've got all the bank reconciliations and everything all ready for them to go. So I'm working on that now.
And you got the signature from Tony, so we have all the signatures
As long
we
as he
need.
signed that piece of paper that was right there in front of him, the audit engagement letter. And we're good.
Haven't signed it yet.
Okay, well, as soon as you do, then we're good.
No, not signing it.
All right, well then I guess no audit for us.
End of my report.
Nothing under planning and zoning. Sanitary sewer, Mr. Pearson.
Nothing to report.
Water, Mr. Pearson.
Nothing to report there either.
Building and ground, Mr. Weaver.
We have a bill from Farnsworth for the public building survey. $3,100. And $250 for the lighting coordination and estimating.
That was helping us work on they were helping us get quotes on what it would cost to put the lighting on 116. Does anybody want to have a need or a copy for that boundary survey? Does anybody have any interest? I can send you a copy of it.
Yeah, always good to have him.
Keep that in the files, Cassandra.
Anyway, the total is $3,350.
I make a motion that we pay the invoice for the Public Works Property Boundary Survey for the cost of $3,350.
Motion by Sidak, second by Weaver. Any further discussion, comments, questions? We'll roll call it. Chervali,
Yes.
Sidak,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
motion carried.
That's all from buildings and grounds.
Did you want to acknowledge Danny? What's that?
Did you want to acknowledge Danny?
Oh, sorry. Danny? Did you have anything?
Yep, I don't need anything, just here to watch.
Okay, thanks, Danny. So, CEDC?
All right, we got another laundry list to get through. I'm gonna try and breeze through this, not in the interest of pushing this through. I assure you, the CDC is quite scrupulous in investigating, but we've got 3 residential grant applications that they've recommended, and 1 commercial grant application that they've recommended. We've also got the redevelopment agreement that's in an ordinance right here in the packet, redevelopment agreement with the Sportsman's Club for their ball diamonds. And then we can also have a little bit of a discussion if we want, or we can wait for future CDC reports about some more projects that they're going to be looking at. But to start us off, we're going to start with the residential grant recommendations. If we approve all these tonight, our budget will be left at $696, which will not be a whole lot for much of anything. So I would anticipate this probably being one of the last rounds of this year.
Yay for giving away money.
Yay for giving away money. First up, we have a project from Ruth. It's pronounced Davidovich. I only learned that because I was an election judge a few years ago and they corrected me about that. For a roof repair that has pictures with it.
That's 24R7.
The ones in green have already been approved.
The ones in green have been approved. The ones in red did not make it through the step with Jacobs and Klein. And the ones in yellow are the ones that CEDC's approved and you guys are talking about tonight.
Okay, just confirming.
Yep. And then if you add up the estimates of all, the 75% of all of them, it's 24,303.72, which is the 696 below the $25,000 cap.
Oh, that does need a place.
Yes, so I will make a motion that we approve project 24R7 for the cost of $5,000.
Second.
So, motion by Sidak, second by Pearson. Any further? Excuse me. Any discussion or comments? And we'll roll call that. Sidak,
Yes.
Purcell, yes. Weaver,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Chair Valley.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, our next project is 24R8. It's what I would consider a pretty traditional project, throwing in some new windows on a house on Hen Street. And that will come out to a grand total of just over $4,500.
Is this the correct amount? 45, 42, 90?
45, 42, 90, I believe, yes.
Okay.
No, I will make a motion that we approve project 24R8 for the cost of $4,542.90.
Have a motion by Sidak,
Second.
second by Pearson. Any further discussion, comments? We'll roll call it. Weaver,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Chair Valley,
Yes.
Sidak,
Yes.
Purcell, yes. Motion carries.
All right, our next one is 24R9.
You guys filling out those sheets?
You're gonna take care of that.
Thanks.
No, I'm not.
For the installation of a new front entry door on the house on Main Street. And that will come out to just over $1,600. It's also for renovating a gravel area in front of the house, a little beautification, and
I
some
think it's
gravel
already
on the
done.
side of it. Is it?
With what?
I think it's already done.
If it is, I can't. We're not supposed to. I'll check on it though.
It's not done.
It's not done.
I'll check.
I agree. I didn't know that was a rule.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we table this one. We gotta check.
I'd say prove it contingent upon the fact that it isn't done. That's what I would do, because that way I can have the kickoff meeting if it is.
All right, I will make a motion that we approve project 24R9 contingent upon verification by administrative.
So if it hasn't been done, if
Verification of non-completion.
it hasn't been done, we'll give her 75% for that portion of the project. If it's already done,
She might have had to do it for safety reasons.
By the way, Doris had received a grant last year. The other ones hadn't, but Doris did last year.
Yeah. So we got a motion by Sidak,
And that is for $1,620.32.
Second.
second by Pearson. Any further discussion? Comments? And it's contingent on Administrator Baylor verifying that the work has not been completed. Roll call it. Pearson,
Yes.
Chiravali,
Yes.
Sidak,
Yes.
Rexel, yes. Weaver,
Yes.
motion carries.
I'm off somewhere. Who,
It was 24R8.
yeah,
Doris Penn.
no.
Oh.
9.
Yeah,
Made
that's
the motion.
24R9. I made the
Sidak made all the motion. Pearson second. Pearson was the first one.
Okay.
Okay, you covered.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is our only commercial grant recommendation for tonight. Looks like they're looking to repair what used to be the old Casey's across from Ridgefield. They've included a rendering. They haven't done the work yet. This is just an artist's rendering. They're going to try and beautify the front of the old Casey's in hopes of making it a little bit more marketable to somebody who might want to lease it.
Kind of an earth tone stone.
Nice. And that is for the cost of $13,876.
With the goal of leasing it out.
With they use the term office space. I don't know who would use it, but yeah, the purpose is to attract some business to come use it as a space.
Great.
I see a lawyer's office would look great in there.
It's had.
Oh, that's already done.
They've been storing stuff in there. They're in the process of moving all that out, and they're going to renovate it and try to lease it.
Nice. That's awesome.
So I will make a motion that we approve project 24C3 for the cost of $13,876.
Second.
Motion by Sidak, second by Pearson.
Just real quick, if you look at the spreadsheet, green's the ones that have already been approved. Yellow is the one we're talking about. The gray one was the coffee can. CEDC tabled that. And then I've got 3 others. One, the Gills, I'm waiting for a second quote. And then the other 2, Gil Evans and Country Relics, both have theirs in.
So we'll be taking a look at those the next meeting. The CEDC opted to table the coffee can vote for what I hope to be obvious reasons. They're asking for beautification money without actually being opened as a business. We felt it would be better to discuss it more in depth and perhaps get some more information before making a recommendation.
They're basically wanting to put cover over the
Walkway.
the deck,
Too.
yeah, up top, which I think is a nice project. But I think there was some concerns about, if they're not even open right now, and so do we need them to get back open and demonstrate that they're rolling again. And the issue is going to be if, with the other projects, if those get approved, we're going to run out of money. So,
Well,
but
It's always next year.
can we hold off on that until we can?
yeah, we can.
So, so this is 24C3 Old Casey's facade. I got a motion by Sidak, second by Pearson. Any further discussion on this? Roll call it. Chiravalli,
Yes.
Pearson, or Sidak,
Yes.
Rixelli, yes. Beaver,
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Motion carried. Now, go ahead. Sorry.
No, so, and then there was some discussion about, well, we're given, we approved to give money to the old Casey's, and they're not generating any revenue at this point. So how does that compare versus the coffee can that is generating revenue? But the coffee can's already received some dollars, and so does it make sense to give them more, or does it make sense to give others more? And we're going to run into that situation as well. If you look at that, if you add up all the dollars, I didn't include the coffee can in there because it was tabled. But if you include the other three, Gil's, that's siding and windows. Gil Evans is the guy who's got the apartments back behind kind of the Public Works building back there. And then he's got an office building, or not office, but a workshop. He wants to blacktop all that, which again, that would look nice. It's not very visible. And then the Country Relics wants to re-side their building. And so the criteria we use is what's in the best interest of the village, one, and if somebody's already received money, all things being equal, then we'd go to somebody new. That's what the CEDC does. And I would just remind you, the CEDC is an advisory group, so they can advise, but at the end of the day, if you guys want to do something different, you guys can do something different. But the CEDC is made up of the other tax-paying bodies, so I think their opinion matters. So the goal is if we approve, we did approve this one tonight, so I need to have another CEDC meeting to look through the remaining four and see what recommendations the CEDC wants to bring back to this board.
He's open to open a couple weeks.
25th, I think I heard.
Nice. The first one lit. All right. Next item up is the Sportsman's Club redevelopment agreement. Pretty much just because the parameters of the redevelopment program didn't extend to the ball diamonds. And so this will come at a cost of $3,500. Fairly similar to the previous redevelopment agreements we've had. I think it's a great investment. So I'm going to make a motion that we approve the ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a BDD redevelopment agreement between Hannah City and the Hannah City Sportsman's Club for the cost of $3,500.
Second.
So motion by Sidak, second by Chiravalli.
How often do those get used? Like, do they have the games and stuff up there?
Mm-hmm.
They've got summer leagues, yeah.
Yeah, they
Do
got
they
some.
still use both fields?
I think they only use the one field now. The one in the back by Judd's old house, Rod. I don't even think they use it anymore. I used to catch foul balls off my garage.
But this will do both of them or just one?
I think it's just the one, the main.
There's pictures in there of the stuff they're doing. It's part of
And
it.
yes, it is. They have like little,
Yeah.
but is Courtney doing?
I thought she was
Girls-
doing basketball.
No, I thought she was doing baseball. I don't know if she's doing softball or baseball, but it's up there at the sports club. Because we used to have softball too.
Just in the way of background, this $3,500 was originally put in as part of the grant program, but it was not approved by Jacob and Klein for whatever reason. It didn't meet the qualifications, and so they reapplied for a redevelopment agreement for that $3,500. The only difference is the parameters on the redevelopment gift are different. We give the money up front, and they don't have to meet all the criteria and jump through all the hoops and do all the stuff that they have to do on the grant.
And that's going to essentially affect our town more than society. You know what I mean? Just parents moving into town looking for T-ball groups and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
It looks like most of the work is done for beautification of the spectator areas, which
It's rough. Yeah.
No, I think it,
as a spectator,
I think-
would enjoy that.
I don't think it's beautification. I think it's usefulness.
Yeah, to make
Looks
it
like some of it's
safe again.
yeah. In disrepair.
So I have a motion by Sidak, second by Terravali. Any further discussions, comments?
What's the ordinance number?
It'll be ordinance 24-05-01. And we will roll call it. Sidak,
Yes.
Brixell, yes. Weaver,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Terravali,
Yes.
motion carries.
All right, and then we've got our residential grant kickoff meeting on the 16th, which I believe is Thursday. And despite what Brian will tell you, there will be pizza.
I can't hear out of my ear. I'm sorry. I'm all
Said
clubbed
he
up.
said he's bringing pizza.
We'll have pizza for everybody. End of report.
What about the residential? Oh,
Actually, I may end up, because the way things are divided, I may go ahead and have the 3 commercial grants that are approved come to that one as well, so they don't have to wait and do it all at once. Get them rolling and then have another kickoff meeting just for the remaining commercial grants later. I sent you guys a communication. We did get we're getting a little noise on when you look at your tax bill, it says TIF and there's a dollar amount by it, and people are perceiving that to mean that that's new tax dollars rather than just reallocated tax dollars from their normal property tax. So we sent out a communication on that, and I sent it to you as well in case you get questions. But it's not a new tax. Your property, if we didn't have a district, your property tax would be going up by that amount anyway. It's just the incremental amounts getting moved and allocated to the TIF.
I'm just checking the. Yeah, I'm checking those right now. I got it pulled here. Here's the first one. First one is April 14th through April 20th. There were 2 incidents: trouble with the neighbor and a motor vehicle stop with a ticket issued. The other one is April 21st through April 27th with 3 incidents: a motor vehicle stop with a warning, medical call, and a refusal to leave the property. I did see this weekend, with it being nice out, I don't know how much you guys hear it in town. I'm the lucky one that lives closest to 116, but bikes in and out of town.
Motorcycles, you mean?
They sort of think it's a drag race. Try to get.
I just saw a lot of them together.
Yeah, and most of the time, big groups. I want them to come in. I want them to enjoy our things. But Peoria County was actually sitting at the Hog Trough Sunday afternoon, with it being so nice out, and I heard one loud bike, but it wasn't them getting on it. It would just sound like what his exhaust sounded like, because most of the times they'll leave from Casey's or coming in from west of Farmington Road, and they slow down, and then they get on it until about Main Street, and then they cruise through town. So, and it gets pretty loud. So, but I'm not deterring anything. But Peoria County was there sitting, watching that traffic. I had mentioned something to the sheriff a couple months back, and he said he would try to have an officer occasionally on a weekend when it's nice out, just to stop by for an hour or two, just to have him sit there and help take care of that issue. the next item up is the Teed Up for the Troops of Central Illinois. Again, if nobody's familiar with this. We hold a golf outing every year to solicit funds for veterans to play golf in the morning, sponsors in the afternoon. All the proceeds that go from this go to veterans organizations here locally in Central Illinois. We used to have a pretty rough split with them, and I think now it is 70-30. We keep 70% of the dollars in Central Illinois. Just a couple of the things are on the front page that go to Goodwill Central Illinois for the Veterans Home, Fuller Center. They do housing repairs for veterans that are not able to. Greater Peoria Honor Flight and Freedom Paws to help pay for service dogs for veterans. Those are just a couple of the organizations that have received grants in the last year. And we've done this in the past. So
Do we normally do like the foursomes?
normally we do a foursome sponsor. We could do a title sponsor, that'd be fine.
Yeah, no. Was all of interest.
I think that'd be going for a good cause.
Just spending my money.
But we didn't budget for that.
Make a motion that we do a foursome.
Second.
A motion by Weaver, second by Sidak.
Is that $2,000?
That would be a $2,000 sponsorship for a foursome. And guests for the after dinner light refreshments. That is August 12th, 2024, and I believe it's still at Peoria Country Club. No, Mount Holly Country Club. Any questions, any concerns, any comments? We'll call that. Weaver,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Chiravalli,
Yes.
Sidak,
Yes.
Rexel, motion carries. Does anybody have anything else to come before the board?
One more item on the agenda.
Main Street road closure.
I didn't see that because I overrode it.
Oh, that must be for the pork
Yeah.
chop.
Yeah, Main Street road closure. I have it on here I asked Brian to put it on for a vote. Just for a simple fact, we always do it, but I want to make sure the board aware and make sure the community's aware. Logan Trolley Fire Prevention District would like to close Main Street on June 22nd from 8 a.m. to midnight for their pork chop fundraiser. Thank you. I was almost say sponsorship, but for Logan Trolley Fire, which is new equipment and stuff. So I will entertain a motion on that.
So moved.
A motion by Sidak.
Second.
Second by Weaver. They are, well, first we'll do this. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. I went ahead and already approved the liquor license as a liquor commissioner and waived the fee for them for that. So they won't have any extra costs there.
Temporary license.
Yes, 1-day temporary license. Now, does anybody have anything else come before the board?
I just have one more question. Is it Fireman's Fund or Fireman's?
It's Logan Trouble here.
I'll get it
Pork
later.
chop dinner.
I know, I just wanted to make sure I had it correct. That's fine.
Yeah, I think it's Logan Trevoli Fire Prevention District, Pork Chop fundraiser. So, next board meeting is May 21st, 2024, which is a Tuesday. They're all on Tuesdays. Come on. If nothing else, meeting adjourned.
Thanks, Danny.
Thank you, Danny. No.